I'm Stahly from Tale of Painters, and maybe you've also wondered how big the new Terminators from the Leviathan box really are. I have the new models in hand, and in this video I compare them to Terminator models from all previous generations, from 2nd edition to the Horus Heresy to today, as well as many other Space Marine models from my collection, so here we go. Let's start the scale comparison with a look at Terminator armor from old to new. Here I have a plastic Terminator from the 2nd edition of Warhammer 40,000, still on a 25mm base. Then the familiar plastic multi-part Terminators that are still available, and a Terminator Captain from the Space Marine Heroes Series 2 that stands a little more upright and has more defined hips than the multi-part models. The Captain is also the same scale as the limited edition Chaplain and Librarian that were released a while ago. Nevertheless, the Leviathan Terminator is a good deal bigger, especially in the legs department. To the right, you can see the plastic Cataphractii and Tartaros Terminators, which stand a bit taller than the classic Indomitus pattern, but are much smaller than the Leviathan Terminator as well. And here is the whole picture. Unsurprisingly, the smallest is the 2nd edition Terminator, followed by the multi-part Terminator. The Terminators from the Space Marine Heroes series and the Horus Heresy Terminators are about equal, I would say, and the new Leviathan Terminator is of course the most massive. Before we make the comparison with Firstborn and Primaris Marines in power armor, here is a direct comparison of old and new. It's really funny how small the 2nd edition Terminator is compared to the new model. What's also quite small is my follower count, so please give me a like and subscribe. I'm still a quite small fish in the YouTube pond, so any support is massively appreciated. Plus, you won't miss out on my future videos. I've got a lot of cool paint reviews and tutorials planned. Now, if you hold the models side by side, you'll notice that the helmet on the Leviathan Terminator has actually become minimally smaller, which makes the body look even bigger. The shoulder pads are actually the same size, so older shoulder pads from the Dark Angels or Blood Angels Terminator sets match size-wise. But keep in mind that the shoulder pads on the Leviathan Terminators are molded to the arms and not separate. For those wondering, the Leviathan Terminators are easy to build, push-fit models. They are monopose, so aren't posable, and only come with the loadout you see on all the promo pictures, which means assault cannon only. Hopefully, there'll be a multi-part kit with more weapon and close combat options down the road. But how does the new Terminator compare to power armored models? Here I have a Marine from the 2nd edition starter set, a classic multi-part Firstborn Marine in Mark 7 armor from the current Tactical Squad kit, a slightly larger Space Marine from the Space Marine Heroes Series 1, then one of the new Horus Heresy Mark 6 Beaky Marines. Next to the massive Leviathan Terminator is a Primaris Intercessor from my Silver Skulls collection, which is pretty much on the same eye level. Here are all the models side by side. The Leviathan Terminator stands out from the Firstborn models, but fits perfectly with the scale of the Primaris Marine. And here are Primaris and Firstborn side by side. By the way, I love to compare not only models but also paints. On my Patreon you can find a hand-painted comparison chart that covers all of the major one-coat paint ranges. I also took a picture of the Terminator with some human models like the new and old Cadians, Traitor Guardsmen, Skitarii and a Goliath Ganger from Necromunda. Unfortunately, I don't have any of the new Chaos Terminators in my collection, but I found these pictures online and they show that the Chaos Terminators have about the same proportions as the models from the Space Marine Heroes Series 2. That means more upright poses and not quite as squashed hips as the old multi-part Terminators, but also not as bulky and tall as the Leviathan Terminator. Let me know your opinion about the new Terminators in the comments. Finally, true scale Terminators, or do you think Games Workshop has gone over the top? And which classic Firstborn models might get revamped in Primaris scale next? I have a few more scale comparisons of the new Cadians and the Horus Heresy Mark 6 models on my channel, so go watch these next. You can find them here on the right side. Thanks a lot and happy hobbying!